नहीं वो वहाँ पे ख़त्म हो जाए तो यहाँ पे शिफ्ट करा
हम बाद में include sedation only after patient feels any discomfort.
Okay, what he's saying in his department, the thing that he follows is that they don't start with sedation. They give sedation only if the patient starts having pain. What's
I'll say to you, you're going to start doing a procedure in a slightly different way. Something that I'd like the lady to be comfortable. So even if you give 2-1, it's that I would prefer that. When anyone that I've never worked with before, I prefer them to have a little bit of something. And it's nothing against your skill or anything like that. I just think let's make them comfortable a little bit.
कितना दे 2 and 1 2 क्या दोनों 2 क्या चाहिए 1 क्या चाहिए she's holding dominant and 1 क्या
Dominant and get in
Relax. Man, we're not here to catch you out. Janet says you've got a massive office.
You're not seeing it. That's HU. क्या हो गया आंटी मैं खड़ी हूँ आपने कहा था ना डॉक्टर साइड पर खड़ी हूँ मैं तो यहाँ पर आराम से सो जाऊँगी
So, what?
She's got an external skin tag.
But the other thing is that did you tell her you were going to put your finger
Yeah,
up?
yeah.
That's fine. I didn't see it.
just said that we are starting
That don't mean sticking your finger up your bum, does it?
So the courses that you conduct over there, do you tell them how to interpret the findings of colonoscopy as well?
Basic skills,
Should
no.
know? No, okay.
Basic skills is just to focus on the scope, handling, and your ability. The problem you've got in this country is an assumption by some of them. Well, I've done 150 now. I don't need that course. I've done 200 now. I'm fine. That to me is just pure ignorance. What I wanted people to hear today from Nizam's talk wasn't just what the take-home message from Nizam's talk shouldn't have been. This is about the polyps. I wanted him to tell these guys he sacrificed a lot, everything, to go and spend 2 years learning this procedure. And he weren't in Japan, he was in England, he was paid £700 a month, he'd got 2 kids, he'd got a wife, all these type of things. This guy sacrificed a lot to do that. But then last week he came to watch place a stent. Now, he'll just stand there, what? Because he's not placed one for about 3 or 4 months. He wants to see, he wants to refresh. So these guys come along, and what they do is that they get to a certain stage and they, as in I call it, stop learning, and they keep presuming. And whereas Nizam has done lots and he doesn't presume, he's continued to learn. And whereas I haven't, I come here as well.
Straight रखो देखो.
Relax.
Start, look at your position of your hand. So it has to be in line with where the scope is going, and the scope should be under.
So think it's the mannequin. Where did you have this on the mannequin?
Falls down.
Yeah, don't worry. Eric will sort that out. Eric will sort that bit out. But you didn't have the scope up in the air when you were doing that. That's great. Just slowly do it. So what I want, the big take-home message was he sacrificed a lot. So for his education, his direction, his focus on what he was doing, he was talking about having done thousands before he did. He was talking about continuing to watch, learn. Life doesn't stop. Learning is about continuous lifelong experience. And I don't. And a guy who's saying that with the same accent as these guys, what I can hear, you know, I just thought to myself that's a big take-home message. And his talk, even though he was talking about polyps, wasn't really about polyps. It's more about your drive and vigour. And slow down, my friend. So, right, just stop where you are. Slow down. So on the mannequin you didn't use a cloth. On the patient you are using a cloth. Nothing against using a cloth. But let's look at this. This is here, right? Don't close your stance. Stand back. That's better. Now. Are these small mans?
Small size. Gloves you said?
Yeah, look at the size of them, man. How am I supposed to fit in them? Look at that. He always gives me small. He expects me to get into small. My friend, just stop where you are. Stop exactly where you are. Can you see how much torque you've got on this scope? No, I don't want you to do anything. Remember when we said we use the word stop? It's not insulting you, okay? You've got the scope in this position. Yeah? Now, if you were to do this with the scope and allow the scope to come round and let the scope come down, big wheel forward. Now, you're in the same position, but are you more comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. What you're trying to do is get your scope and you're trying to screw it in.
Like
Yeah. Much better. Better. How are you going to make that scope look left? And that's by doing that. There you go. And now tip up. Right. Bringing that back round takes it off. Tip up. So big wheel back. There you go. You see how the folds are all converging? Okay. Well done. Well done. Excellent. Now, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Is the scope dragging at all? Is the scope feeling a little bit difficult to advance? No. Is that because you've got a lot of weight behind it? Or is that because we're well lubricated? Is it?
not very lubricated, I think.
Right, so if it was your bottom, what would you like?
More lubricated.
Good. Slowly do it. Slowly do it. Slowly. Brilliant. Slowly do it. Now stop there. Now just bring the scope back in a moat stop. Put a little bit of now. Draw the scope back 2 centimetres only. And another. And another. See it stepping forward?
Yeah.
And now tip up. And another. And another. Increase the clockwise. And then stop. Draw back. Draw back. Draw back. Draw back. Increase the clockwise. Increase. Increase. Tip down. So that's it. Well done. Well done. Now, clockwise torque by 5 degrees. Now advance the scope. It will re-loop, but less. You don't need to advance. Don't need to put any more torque on. A little bit of air. It'll re-loop, but less. Keep going. Keep going. Tip up so you don't crash and burn. Tip up. Remember your chin. Your chin is catching on the ground. Good man. Well done. Remember your chin. Excellent. Now what's happened there is you've took your torque off by letting go of the scope with the right hand. Not a problem. Keep going. No, that's a diverticular, so you need to go to the left. That's it. Good man. Well done indeed. Well done indeed. Brilliant. Well, there's not. I mean, you come to England, I'll show you diverticular. This is nothing, man. And stop there for a moment. Just take a breath. How does that feel? Happy?
There's still a loop.
Well, yeah, there's still a loop, but is the patient comfortable?
Yeah.
How do you know?
She's not moving her feet.
And what else?
She's not saying anything.
And she's not looking at you with daggers.
Yeah.
That's fine. So she's always this straight-faced. Always.
Should I proceed?
Yeah, what do you think you should do? What do you think you should do?
I should proceed.
Is it safe to proceed?
Yeah.
Okay.
The jacket and vertical.
Yeah.
Still moving, right?
You still do. So now you've asked me a question. This is the lumen right? Don't tell me this is the lumen right. Say I'm going to advance and the lumen is 2. Be definitive. Tell me what you think it is. Because in asking me and then doing it, if it was wrong, it gives me an opportunity to shout at you. So you believe this is the lumen, so I'm going to go this direction. Okay? So take ownership. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you?
Right.
Just do it slowly and you will be fine. Take ownership. Own the situation. So just water is what you need there or out of the lens. That will get rid of that. Good. See how it got rid of it? Just a bit of mucus. Now, see it stepped forward there. Why do you think it suddenly shot forward?
Sorry?
Why do you think it suddenly stepped forward?
I'm not sure.
Because the resistance it was feeling from the folds, it suddenly gave and then it shot forward. Okay? Is she comfortable? Yeah? Great. So where's the lumen? Good man. Stop. Where you thought was the lumen is a diverticular. So where's the lumen? Say on a clock. 2 o'clock. See the folds? They're more at 1 o'clock now, 2 o'clock. See all that diverticular? Not there, that's not the lumen. 2 o'clock still, 3 o'clock. See the liquid? See the mucus? Yeah. Can you see it? Talk to me.
No, I can't see the lumen.
Okay, stop. Okay, just give me the scope a second. Stop. Give me the scope a second. So, see how that is there? See how the scope is? A lot of tension in the
lot of
scope.
tension.
That's not you, right? That's not a problem. That's because we've got diverticular. You can't see the actual area where to go. Right, now we can. Have a look again. Good. Good. No. Now what you've got to do is bring this here. If you look as you go forward, ever so slowly go forward. Clockwise torque with the right hand. More clockwise torque with the right hand. Advance. You got hold of the scope? Hold of it. Now, tip up slowly, so big wheel back. Go on. And you're keeping that on. Just tip up, blow water, tip up. That's it. Blow. Good. Yeah? So how much torque did we put on? Because you were frightened of putting it on, weren't you? Now, don't advance. What should you do here? If you're not going to advance, what are we going to get you to do? Slowly, ever so slowly, withdraw, play a little bit of anti-clockwise, 5 degrees of anti, tip up. That tip has to be in the center. Draw back, now apply clockwise. Draw back, continue to draw back. A little bit of air, keep drawing back. Anti-clockwise. Stop, draw back, continue to draw back. Continue. Clockwise. Continue to draw back. Tip up. Continue to draw back. Clockwise. Continue to draw back. Continue. 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 Increase the clockwise. Increase. 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 Increase.
Should I withdraw?
Continue to draw back. Increase the clockwise. Continue to withdraw. Increase the clockwise. Continue to draw back. Tip down. Draw back. Draw back. Anti-clockwise. Draw back. Draw back. Anti-clockwise. Clockwise. Tip up. Great. Oh, look at the screen, not me, man.
The loop is gone.
No, it's not gone. Keep drawing back. Keep drawing back. It's got one more step to make. Suck. Stop. Draw back. Draw back. Draw back. Keep the clockwise on. Draw back. Draw back. Draw back. Draw back. Clockwise. Great stuff. Suck. Stop. Now go forward. Keep that torque on that you've got on the scope. Steer with the wheels. Steer with the wheels. Steer with the wheels. Don't put torque steering in. Little wheel you can draw back. Go on. Go on.
Should I use it small heat?
That's right. That's little and small is the same thing in my book. Good man. Well done. Excellent. Keep going nice and slow. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Good. Once you get past this bit, then we can actually resolve everything. Keep going. Remember the forehead is catching on the finger as you go under the loop. Keep going. Under the fold. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Anti-clockwise. Good man. Tip up. Anti-clockwise. Good. Suck. Suck. Good. Good. Bit more. Bit more. Excellent. So, how did that feel? Good? Happy? Right. Keep going now. Nice and slow. Well done. Nice and slow. Brilliant. Nice and slow. Like how you're not putting too much air in. Nice and slow. Excellent. Well done. Right. Nice and slow. Great stuff. Wonderful. So, just stop there for a moment. How's the patient?
She seems
Never let her wake up. She's sleeping, that's great. Let her sleep. Most important. In Paul's world, if they're asleep, leave them alone. Good man. Now she's making a noise. Okay, so, can you see what we've got there now? So she said she's uncomfortable, has she?
दर्द हो रहा है मरीज कहाँ पे हो रहा है
Right,
सीलिंग पे रखते हैं
okay. So, let's have a look. Tip up, slowly draw back the slope and apply anti-clockwise torque. Slowly, now apply clockwise torque, continuing to draw back. Suck. Suck. Good. Keep drawing back and apply clockwise torque. Keep drawing back and apply clockwise torque. Good. Keep that torque on. Now put a little bit of air in. Keep the tip up. A little bit of air. Keep drawing back. Keep drawing back. Increase the clockwise torque. Keep drawing back. Suck. Right. Keep drawing back. Now go. Keep that torque on. Don't let that thumb change direction. Slowly, even slower than before, advance the scope. Stay with the wheels. Slowly advance.
coming out and
Don't worry. Slowly advance.
advance
Advance. Don't need to do this. Or that says that you're putting torque steering on. I don't want you to put torque steering on. I want the thumb to stay in the line. You steer with the wheels. Remember before we got you to steer with the wheels? Because as soon as that moves, that means you're putting torque steering on. And that, right, so she's uncomfortable. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to say, give us the scope a moment. Okay, pop the scope down. Got a little bit of tension, stand there. Right. So what we got, you've done absolutely brilliant. How did you feel about getting through the sigmoid and how you negotiated and reduced?
yeah I think I did the sigmoid part well
Yeah. You did it really well. This is a difficult bit. What we got, we neutralise the little wheel so she's there. Big wheel comes back. We increase the clockwise torque. This is the hard bit. Tip up. Increase the clockwise torque. Increase the clockwise. And this is where you were struggling to listen to what I was saying. See what I've done there now? Suck to hold. If you look at that thing there now, that'll say that's perfectly straight. I'll go back in my corner. Good. Slowly do it. Keep that torque on. This is the hard bit. Keep that torque on. If it starts to reform, then we'll address it again, because that you were asking before, something you've never used before. So, right, so it's starting to reform. So, which is what I was expecting. So now you get an opportunity. So we slowly apply this, if we remember what it does.
it's coming back on its own
Yeah. Keep the torque on. Steer with the wheels.
that's the ceiling side
No, draw back the scope. Keep the lumen central. Now advance. Now I can see that you've a little, go on, you'll probably cause a little bit of discomfort when this goes forward. Go on, let's see what we get. Right, now let me show you why that it is, okay? For a second, right, what you've done is that you're applying anti-clockwise torque. Your actual thumb went this direction. With her, it's actually clockwise torque. If you remember from before, it was clockwise that we needed to do. Remember? Now, if it doesn't work, I'm watching the screen. Okay? And then keep the torque on. Now with her, it's clockwise torque. keep it on, and then draw back. So if she doesn't like that one little bit, we'll take that off this time, and now we'll come back. Now, you've done absolutely brilliant, and it's very hard, this bit. Right? So, if you notice how slow we advance the scope, how slow we advance the scope. Pull the air down, the air then enables the scope to come in. Watch the scope. The scope comes this direction. Scope comes here. Tip goes up, tip goes down, tip goes up, tip goes down. Right? Off with that little wheel. Tip goes up, tip goes down. Keep the torque on. Draw back. Let it come back, let it come back, let it come back. See the scope stop? Did you see it stop even though we're continuing to come back?
Yeah.
See it still stopped even though we're continuing to come back?
Yeah.
Still stopped even though we're continuing to come back. So I'm increasing the torque. Still stopped. Now it's coming back. And I'm looking at the diverticular and I'm thinking to myself, is it pus or is it just the way the prep is? Yeah? And then we just let that sit there and wait. She keeps looping at this point and we wait. Not doing anything. Just wait. And you're thinking what you're waiting for. I'm waiting to actually get a bit of lumen so I can put clockwise torque on the scope. Because it's clockwise torque that's needed for this. How do I...
Where is it exactly are we? We're near the hepatic flexure, right?
No, nowhere near the hepatic. You're actually, the tip of the scope is in the descending colon, coming up to the splenic. You're nowhere near the hepatic. And we just broke the big wheel.
Yeah.
What happened? It's become free?
Yeah. Nope. Nope. When you get a rigid colon, that's what happens. So what will happen this time is I'll put the scope back in if we get another scope. I'll get it round as far around as we can, as far as she tolerates.